Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Our senior learned colleague, you're welcome, sir.
Learned. Leave that learned colleague.
So journalists are not learned?
Journalists are educated. We know that in Nigeria.
Do you want to follow your law people?
Let's
Joe and I start looking for a journalistic co-host.
I'm with both. If Nyesa Wike can be in the PDP
and the BC, we can be Jonah lawyer. More Jonah.
All right, let's go into the papers this morning, starting with the ThisDay newspaper on the front page. Do not let Mate fall, Zulum begs federal government. Spends night coordinating security logistics. Tinubu meets Pope Leo XIV, stresses importance of peace and tolerance, urges Nigerians to use their diversity for nation stability and rapid development. And then there's the banter with Fayemi and Obi, which Bayo Ononuga had to go and do a serious informal press statement on X for. Saraki, Buhari harassed, intimidated me because I opposed and curbed borrowings. Lokobiri, $5 billion African Energy Bank in final stage before kickoff. Orama Ibrahim inspects new headquarters in Abuja. Ex-US leader Biden diagnosed with aggressive prostate cancer. I think let's start on a much lighter note, love and light. Do you think it was really necessary, all that explanation about what happened between Obi, the Pope, Obi and Peter Obi and
Mr. Fayemi?
Mr. Fayemi, you know, the explanation of, oh, this one went to go and greet this one say, let's go. Was it really necessary?
No, very, very necessary.
Tell us.
That was a masterpiece.
Tell us.
Tinubu media guys got it right. Tinubu went there on invitation of the Pope. And Obi, a Catholic, and Fayemi, a Catholic, devoted Catholic for that matter, were also there, the same environment. You know, there was only cautious and decent for them to go and say hello to the president, no matter the political difference. You know, and the media guys were watching. They captured everything that happened and threw it out. That was a masterpiece. That Fayemi said, let's go give the president. Obi said, yes, no, I'm okay with that. And they went there. Then I met the president, welcome, thank you for coming to the inauguration of the Pope. You know, we are Catholics. President said, no, wait a minute. I'm the leader of the Nigerian delegation. No, and they started laughing. That was a good one from the media. You know, capture the mood.
No, I'm not talking about I'm talking about the explanation that Bayo puts.
That what?
You know, he had to explain all of this, breaking it down. Because he felt like, we had to tweet earlier, he felt like people were saying, oh, why is Obi and the president smiling? I mean, he had to put out.
That's why I said the media guys got it right.
Okay,
that's true. I'm a media man. I want manage the image of a governor of the state.
Yeah.
So I can tell you that was a class, that was a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It was not necessarily, it was not put out as a statement, you know, but it was on the Twitter page of Mr. Onuga. That was where people picked it, you know, and that was the message of the story, apart from the one of peace and coexistence. So it was a good one.
Well,
a good one.
Okay, interesting perspective. I mean, there are those who would argue. I personally did argue at the start. I didn't see why it was, you know, it was very necessary and
fantastic media work.
Anyway, let's before we proceed with the papers, I'm sure you're aware of what happened in Mushin yesterday, the collapse of the building. Very sad one, but we do have our man. We hear he's on ground. Ni or Boni, or better still call him Agbala. Ni or Boni is on ground. Let's see if he has the latest updates for us. Ni, thanks for joining us. We can see the rubbles behind you. Can you shed more light on what's happening?
Yeah, good morning, Joe. Good morning, Olive, and everyone there in the studio. So we're here at Mushin Idiaraba, to be precise. This is number 96 Ishaga Road, and just behind me you can see the rubbles of a collapsed building. It's said to be a one-story building given to a developer. It's still under construction at the time it's collapsed. Moreover, the developer, according to information we got, decided to add one more layer of a story on it. And if you look at this iron rod that is being used to power, if I can use that word, or to lift an extra deck of building on it, you can see the texture. I can feel it here, you can't feel it, but of course I can see it here, that we want to put an extra layer of building on, and some people are saying that's the reason why the building collapsed. As regards fatalities, one person had been confirmed dead, 3 people were rescued from the rubble. For now, rescue operations has ended, and they're just waiting for information on how to move these things out of here. However, I'm here with people who witnessed the incident, and I'd like to get more information as to what really went down here. Sir, let's start with your name, sir. What's your name, sir?
My name is Habib.
Okay. You witnessed and you saw what happened here. Can you give us a brief of what has happened so far?
What happened yesterday, Judge? This very building collapsed around after 3 yesterday. After 3, I was throwing my friend going to the bus stop when I had the building collapse of the building here. But I think part of what caused the collapse of the building is due to the inferior materials used from the foundation, because it's a 2-story building. The building is just and it's still under construction. So from the foundation, foundations, the rod, and everything is very much inferior to what is expected to be used. That once there's a call, because of many people here, the LRU come, the layer officials come to try and rescue people. The SHEMU, the Nigerian Police Force, and other sister agencies are much more on. Everybody lived there around 10:30 in the night or yesterday night. So 3 people are rescued alive. One was dead as at the time of rescue. So the SHEMU come to evacuate the corpse to the nearest mortuary.
Can we confirm the identity of that person? Was it a construction worker, or do we know?
According to people here, I think it's one of the carpentry laborers that come to the site to do work. So that is the issue.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. We still have more people here, as you can see. Just as we got here, it's gathering more attention as to what's happening. Good day, sir. Would you like to speak with us, sir? What Mommy is saying, if we bring money, she does not understand what we're doing here. But as you can see behind me, it's garnering a lot of attention. However, it does not take away the fact that this has happened. This still raises concerns about how buildings have been constructed in Lagos State, and if they even if they have the right permit to construct or add another layer of structure to this existing construction that was ongoing. That's the update I have for you from here. But for now, we can confirm that 1 person is dead and 3 people have been rescued alive. Oh, someone has eventually decided to speak with us. Sir, let's just quickly understand. Were you here when this happened?
No, I was around there, but I'm not actually here. By the time they were doing the foundation, I was here, and I noticed that they didn't do proper foundation for this wall.
So you were here when this building started construction. You used to see it.
The first developer that started the house, well, maybe it's a money problem between the families or whatever thing. We just noticed that they have left the foundation for more than 5 years at the foundation level then, before they can bring another developer. That one just come and begin to do skeleton, pillars and beams. I even told my colleague that this house is very, very dangerous the way they are doing it until we hear yesterday that the house is collapsed.
Do we know if at any point in time Lagos State officials, maybe building control agency, did you see them around coming to inspect the building or the work?
No, I didn't see them, but I saw they are rating things as they used to do. LAPSCA with the date of occupancy. I've never set my eyes on them, but I saw their handwriting on the thing that they used to cover the place. But immediately the thing happened, they all gathered here yesterday for the rescue of the people that injured.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. As you can hear, Joe, it's going to be very, very difficult to identify the markings of the Lagos State Building Control Agency, which that man mentioned that was inscribed on some of the structures here or one of the building, because everything right now is almost rubble. But what we can say for now is that what eyewitnesses have said is that there is the use of inferior materials, and that is what led to the collapse of this building.
Really, really sad story to be looking at there. Thank you so much, Igbalani Omoni, for bringing us live updates from Mushin. And just to come back into the studio now to speak with Mr. Habib Aruna, you see that I think we had the same conversation.
Final report from the our reporter.
Yeah,
Fantastic
great
report.
report. Thank you. So we've talked about this before. This is not the first time that we've talked about it. I think it was just last
Absolutely.
week or 2 weeks ago, and we're asking where does the blame lie? But again, rinse, repeat, the same scenarios happening over and over again.
And it will be a continued conversation.
Until
It
what
will be a
happens?
continued concern until we get it right. When people are dying, when it bleeds, it leads. When people are dying, people will show concern that what is really going on. And you cannot exonerate the Lagos State government and its agency. You cannot, in any way. Look at what people that were interviewed, but they were saying that they've been expressing concern that this people are not doing the right thing. So, you see, before this kind of thing is done, look at the houses in that vicinity. They are all old houses. So it's a possibility that that building, how do I call it? That site was bought by the developer. Right? The developer was not building it. Who gave him the approval? Were they supervising it after giving the so-called developer the approval? Those are the questions. So if there is proper monitoring and proper supervision, I think we will avoid this needless death of Lagosians and Nigerians. So I think the media should make it a burning issue, which is on the front page, which they've done this morning, so that people involved are punished. There must be consequences. This is not acceptable.
It's just really sad that, I mean, you've said the right
Acceptable.
thing that there will be consequences, but whether or not there would actually be consequences is another
It's for us, the media to put it on the front burner and make sure that those involved are identified and punished.
What about the
Yeah.
engineers? I'm sure there's a council for
No. If you are punishing the agency and those involved, you cannot exonerate the engineers, the project managers.
But we're
They
seeing
will be arrested.
a repeated pattern of this.
No, what
are we
doing?
sure some of these builders are actually registered engineers in the first place?
That is the question. But I don't think the government is doing enough.
I think that
Not enough.
industry. I think the industry is now
Not enough.
proliferated with.
sorts
with
of
I wouldn't want to use the word quack.
But it is, that's what it is.
Yes, it is.
Not just quacks,
I
but
mean,
greedy people as well, who are
it's
looking
a
to
lot.
exploit. How do you get permission for
How
one
do you
floor?
go and
I want to
play? How
build
can you just
a
go
second
and
floor.
just put up a building, without proper approval and proper supervision?
Yes, because human beings would always like to cut
Yes.
corners, so it's
I
the
don't
onus
understand.
is on the regulators and the supervisors to do their jobs effectively.
And I think
penalties.
it's part of our development. We are still developing. It's going in stages. If those guys are died now, they go to court. You sue the government and you sue the contractor, you sue the agency. And those people are making that must be damage paid. If the things are done, they will sit up and do the right thing. So we should not allow this to continue.
All right, we'll continue to talk
it's
about
not
this
ideal.
as we get
It's not
more
acceptable.
updates. And our correspondent is following up with the story. And like he said, the media will should continue to put this on the front
Absolutely.
pages and the front burners so that people can be held accountable. Until we make examples
Correct.
of certain people, we'll continue to have these situations where their building collapses, we'll make noise for it about a few days, and we move on to wait till the next building collapse occurs. Let's go to the Punch newspaper and look at the big story. The 2027 coalition is in the conversation. Atiku camp offers Obi VP role in one-term deal. Opposition leaders may dump SDP for ADC as new coalition platform. Let's look at this story.
VP role,
A
one role, a whole Obi that is meeting the president in Rome.
A whole Obi of the obedience movement to serve as VP.
Well, it will be difficult for me to lie. I don't know what the Obi camp is thinking, but I think it will be difficult. You know, I was telling you last week that nothing will come out of the PDP meeting. We have seen it now. They're already fighting. You know, I don't think an Obi that left PDP the way he was treated will join Atiku's team, Atiku's ticket. It will be difficult. I think if Obi's camp is doing very well, Joker card is in their hand. The man is popular, the man is pragmatic, the man is charismatic. And Obi has grown from 2023 to now. Obi is in a better position to decide, to determine the pace of the race, not being included. So I think that is not, because Atiku has becoming increasingly a liability. So I don't think so. It's possible that That is what they are putting on the table for the Obis come to consider. But I don't think Obi people will embrace this kind of thing. They are this kind of offer. It cannot work. It's difficult for it to work.
Does it seem like the PDP is trying to find its feet? It seems like it's over. But of course, they're looking for a revival mode right now, and it's better looking like Obi is the right person to revive the party again.
The best bet for the PDP after last week botched attempt to revive the organs and structures. You know, the best bet is to look for someone that is credible.
Who?
Like Obi.
Okay.
You don't like Obi's politics. Not everybody like his politics. But in the first man at home, anytime I disagree with them about Obi, then my first son is a lawyer, you know. But Obi is very popular. Plus, people that controls the social media, people that control public space, public opinion, they support Obi, you know. And I think Obi people should play this politics well.
Is there room in PDP?
You must play it well. You must play it so that decisions and alternatives are on the table. You pick the right thing.
But is there,
not joining articles camp, articles team they already made.
Can the PDP accommodate the ego of Obi?
No, of course. You see, the only way to say PDP now, PDP is in this alley. I just when I read what APC said, that the PDP is a dead body that refuses to be buried. So that's politics, you know. Okay. It's a normal thing. But Obi can save PDP from collapse. If they put issues, if they embrace him and call him to come and look at what is going on, but don't give him conditions, he will not.
And would the obedience be? Do you think that the obedience will be agreed to that, or would they be opposed to the idea of?
Don't forget that some people power this obedient group. There's some people behind obedient. There are people that Obi discuss with all the times. So by the time Obi reach a decision, this obedient group will come together and look at it. That is where this man is going. How can we succeed? You know, it is based on the discussion Obi is able to have with his people.
But they are also
organic
obedience that just like.
But by the time Obi decide on what to do, and they call guys in the group, say, okay, let's go on. I need to be following.
Okay.
Okay, looking at another story.
But it's that time Obi play politics well. It's a brand that must be well managed. If not well managed, what happened 2 years ago, we still repeat itself. So they must manage Obi branch, Obi brand very well. The obedient group should not be too caustic. It should be accommodating. Look at other people with different interests. Accommodate them and make sure their arrowhead is well positioned to win the next election. And play that role well. They're playing it well so far, but they should be careful on the options.
So if from what you're saying, Peter Obi being able to resuscitate the People's Democratic Party and helping them in maybe potentially doing better at the elections, or maybe winning the elections.
It's part of the options the obedient group should look at.
Okay. Do you think that would then...
You know why?
Okay.
PDP is a very big party. PDP has branches everywhere in Nigeria. So it's an emergence of Obi as the leader. We animate these structures.
Do you think that would then bring back a number of the people who are very...
It's not impossible. It's a possibility. The one who has Obi as the arrowhead, and this clamor for power to remain in the South. But they now have a Southeast person challenging President Tinubu, supposedly, in the next election. I think the terrain will be more interesting, more vibrant, and more active. But they should choose their options very, very well.
But they're giving Obi a VP role.
That
one is just
comments.
That is the other side. Dead on arrival.
It's an opinion.
Let's look at it.
I want us to look at this Tinubu approves licenses for not all projects. I mean, this is 2025. A country like the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has started to look beyond oil. You have boxing bouts there, you have cultural events, you have F1 in Jeddah. This is a traditional country that builds its economy on the back of oil. But for them to see the handwriting of the world, they need to diversify. What do you make of President Tinubu's approval of licenses for not all projects? We've been prospecting for oil in the north for a while, and they haven't seen anything. Is it a wild goose chase? Are we just paying lip service to talks of diversification? And how serious are we about the issue of diversification, is it necessary to still be prospective for oil in the north?
That's a big topic. That's beyond this forum and platform. You see, it's in two ways. The first one is economic. It's not impossible that when this exploration becomes successful to benefit the country. And it's been going on for long, you know. So I think that only bad in throwing in some dollars, millions of dollars, to see if it's viable or feasible. The second part is political. Political in the sense that the president may want to satisfy some interest in the north. That okay, there's a semblance of discovery of oil in our area. We're not paying more attention. I think because I'm from the south, I think he's trying to allay those fears and say, okay, now let's try and see if it's possible. Okay. I don't forget that the more I play this game, the more favorable we will be in the polls, 2027.
So there are economic implications.
Absolutely. So that is it.
All right. We have a call from Elder David. Let's take it before we go to the next story. Good morning, Elder David. Thank you for calling.
Good morning, ma. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It is always surprising. The article thought that people from the southeast, as himself as a Fulani man, what is good for them is just vice president. Anyway, I'm not surprised because he's good traveler. Peter Obi wants to be a vice president by every means. It is very shameful. If I may ask, which PDP are you talking about? Is it PDP, the present one? Atiku is not in charge. He cannot even contest that PDP. If we even contest, they will be defeated. Nigeria cannot be deceived. We have got a leader that don't discriminate, a leader that make Nigerians pride. Yes, he will be there. They will be defeated 2027 in whatever platform Atiku we contest. Just take note of it. El-Rufai now shamefully have led the party because those are one of the people that ruin this country when they sold 34 parastatals that provide jobs for 3 million youths. I make all jobless. I'm a pensioner retirement in Nigeria. I'll be staying on this platform. You think God doesn't sleep? And when this man came in, he approved money for all pensioners and others. And what he's doing today is liberation. I think we thought that if we still have messengers in his farm and others, like Obasanjo and others, in 2 years' time, Nigerian youth will free education at the university level now. The children will be on the same standard, even more better than they themselves. Whether you call it Atiku, you call it Obasanjo, you call it El-Rufai, or whatever you call it Obi, take note of it and mark it down today. They will be defeated by 95%. On that whole platform they go. Nigeria is speaking and speaking. And everybody is like that. God will bless every one of you there who believe in truth. And God will bless Nigeria. And Nigeria will remain as one.
Thank you very much for your thoughts. Do you have any quick response?
Yes, I think on the aspect of Atiku, no, it's of interest to me. The more Atiku remains in PDP, the more the problem will persist. I think the party should find a way of doing away with Atiku Abubakar. Atiku has become increasingly a liability to that party. I'm telling you. Because I was thinking that Atiku will be more influential. He will put more weight in influencing decisions at the highest level of the party in dealing with the issue of Wiki and other recalcitrant members. But Atiku has failed to do so. That shows that its relevance and consequence is waning. So I would think the more they should do less, in the party. The more they bring him up, it will affect the party. I don't think they need Atiku now, that party. You should find a way of working towards a post-Atiku era.
Wow.
In PDP. That's what we have them. I'm telling you. Because the future of PDP is at stake now. They should look for people that will help them. The Sharaki committee should not be allowed to fail. Sharaki is not the credible that we have today in Nigeria. Nobody's perfect, but it don't be allowed to fail. But Atiku should not be the issue in the party now.
Okay, let's move away from PDP. I do want us to take the story on the Nigerian Tribune because we've been following up with this story since last week regarding the APC ward who was kidnapped and they demanded 100 million, eventually negotiated it to 5 million. And then on the way to deliver the 5 million, the two people who were the ransom bearers were also kidnapped. And then the kidnappers increased their demand to 30 million. The latest update on the Nigerian Tribune is that APC ward was killed. He was shot and the two ransom bearers were freed. A really sad story. Bottom left, it says, kidnappers kill APC ward chairman in Ondo after collecting 5 million naira ransom.
Terrible.
Really terrible statement. Terrible updates there. Reflective again of the current state of insecurity in our country and the way that people kill mindlessly. It's bad enough that you kidnapped somebody. They brought the ransom to you. You still went ahead and shot him and then released it to people. So then this then says it's maybe more than just kidnapping. Maybe there was already the intent to kill and then they wanted to use one stone to kill.
It has become a racket. These people see it as very lucrative. I remember using drone now. They're not in Bono and Zamfara. They're using drones. So it's a big racket. So I am invading and stealing. When they kidnap you, the ransom, people pay. People are ordered to pay. And when they pay, because they're making money. They're making more money to buy ammunition. So the big time business. It's unfortunate that Office knows it.
Why haven't we been able to deal with this menace of kidnapping?
I think we have to ask the NSA that question. Well, I'm disturbed. We are all disturbed.
And why are people still in their jobs?
And the NSA should be in a position to tell Nigerians why this thing is happening. And this man was just yesterday raising alarm, governor of Borno State.
Yes,
they should not allow a community to be taken over by these terrorists. Hope they are listening. So if they say, if they are smiling and laughing in Rome, some places in Nigeria, but people are dying.
I mean, just to say again, our hearts, our condolences go to the family, friends, political party members who have served alongside Mr. Nelson Adepoigi, who was unfortunately killed by kidnappers on Friday following his abduction by some armed men at the entrance of his farm along Ifonwo Road last week. It's just and I'm hoping that we're seeing that this thing it's not as fast as it used to look. It's around. It's close by, It can be anywhere.
I went to my village just last week.
You did what?
You went to my village. Some so-called men. Something that was impossible. Yes, they kill a woman. So this thing is coming.
And there are insinuations that some of these incidences are, they're not announced frequently. They're not.
Yes.
They are underreported.
So we have to be concerned. All of us need to be concerned.
Okay. All right. Let's look at last paper. Let's see if we have. I know we've seen some of the papers. There's a very interesting topic on ThisDay. I'd like us to look at. Very interesting topic there. Lokobiri, $5 billion African Energy Bank in final stage before kickoff. It's been in the talks, African Energy Bank for Africans. Although there's still worrying concerns if it's really going to be free from the Western impute or, Western, because it's for Africa. What's your take on this, by the way?
I don't know. African Energy Bank. I think it's been in the works for over 2 years now. I've not really studied the feasibility. But I think if something that we are benefiting Nigerians, I think it should be encouraged.
If it's something that will finally bring light.
But that's what he said. Because the world is diversifying.
Yeah.
Nigeria foreign exchange is still 90% oil oriented. For how long are we going to allow that? We should be diversified. Even the major producers, Saudi Arabia, they are more into entertainment, property, all those things. Tourism, what are we doing about it? And this over-dependence on oil is affecting us. And if that is not taken, the future is shaken. So our leaders should take another look at those things. For example, in Nigeria, tourism and the creative industry should be given more attention.
It should be given more attention. But the problem with tourism, again, is the fact that insecurity is a major issue How many people will be willing to travel to Kajuru
No,
Castle?
they will do it holistically. It's holistically. You know, one of these things are political. You know, deal with it holistically.
Yeah.
Let all of us be involved.
You should first start by cleaning a leadership beach and removing those many horses.
And then we should start seeing government officials, instead of going to London to review President Tinubu's past 1 year, we should start doing it. You can go to Warm Spring
things here.
and all these lovely
Nature.
places.
Why are we paying to access public beaches in Nigeria?
Why should
To
we go to
enjoy
London?
beach nature, you have
That's
to pay
payable.
money. There's gate fee.
I mean, other
there isn't
countries
the
too, you have
to
to pay
maintain
now
it
because somebody
now.
has to cultivate
No,
that
that is free
money.
now.
Okay, how is it being maintained? Is it
No, they're maintaining it, yes.
Well, not all
with
of
all
them,
these
but some of
horses?
them.
Some people are maintaining it though.
Some are. I mean, just to
Okay.
wrap things up quickly, what's your take on, ex-US leader, President Biden, diagnosed with,
Former President Joe
Very,
Biden.
very sad.
Really sad.
Very, very sad. Don't forget that in the past few days, we've seen books, stories about the health of Biden, that he was facing this challenge before he was forced to step down. The people around him knew that this man was not coping, that he was having health challenges, that he said was failing. Still, they did not tell the whole world the truth. They didn't tell the party the truth until he was forced by Kone, to step down. So now that we now heard yesterday that he's having prostate cancer, then people became very sad.
Do you think it was a smart move to have removed him and put in Kamala Harris?
The blame game became shifted to despondency. People became sad. They were wishing him well. No, that was the best thing for him to have done. Even if people were saying that it was a bit too late, they would have left the race earlier on to allow Kamala Harris to find her footing.
I wonder what Donald Trump
I'm
has
not a
to say
spy
about
campaign.
this.
No, I mean,
Donald Trump.
he's going to send
I don't
a
want that.
message.
But we are wishing well.
Donald Trump that said that
All
ever since
of us who are men, it's time for us to go and do prostate.
Yeah, he mentioned it earlier.
I mean, I've been canvassing for it, and I think
It's very, very important.
Yeah,
I don't mind. It's coming late, but I have to do it immediately.
please do.
please.
As soon as you leave here,
No,
Men, I will remind
very
you.
important.
I'll remind you with a phone call.
Please do.
Yes, I will do that.
Biologically men.
Yes, men.
Because these days, the other
Ovarian is
definitions
more
of men.
ovarian.
Are you saying that there are different types of
So that
men?
the more you know earlier, the better.
There's transgender that identifies as man.
Now,
So,
Okay,
it's not prevalent in Nigeria.
a male man.
Yes. Like Bobrisky now, he has to do it. Yes.
Later today on Breakfast Central, this was coming up. Let's go follow Benga. Later today at 10 a.m., the ladies will be here at Jasi. At 3 p.m., we also have the news. You take a look at what we have on the news headlines. And then 10 p.m., we've got tonight. Make sure you don't miss it. Make sure you don't
Wow,
miss it.
this is the time where we have to go. Thank you very much for being a part of today's broadcast. I'd like to wish Catherine Obiang, you'll be seeing her in the next hour. It was her birthday over the weekend as she turned 21, forever 21.
Woo! Happy
Shout out to
birthday, Catherine Obiang. We love
happy
you.
birthday, we love you.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. I almost said we'll see you on Monday.